The annual Ohio Farm Bureau County President's Tour to Washington underway. Executive Vice President with Ohio Farm Bureau, Jack Fisher, joins us. Jack, this is an annual event that not only Ohio, but many farm bureaus throughout the country do. It establishes the grassroots effort of getting that local farmers' input all the way to Washington.
It's one of the great opportunities that our county leadership has in Farm Bureau across the country, and particularly in Ohio. Think about it, and you've been here with them this week. How many of our congressional delegation they've been able to meet with? The Speaker of the House, we're fortunate to have Mr. Boehner from Ohio as the Speaker. This morning, meeting with Senator Brown, going to meet with Senator Portman for lunch. So the opportunity to engage with our elected officials one-on-one and talk about our industry, farm families, rural Ohio is great. And they take full advantage of it, and it's a great part of Farm Bureau.
Jack, you'll also have that opportunity to relay to your county presidents what Farm Bureau really, the priorities are. They already know those priorities, but it enhances them. Let's talk a little bit about a few of some of the key elements of this Washington trip. Child labor, and that is something on the local farm is paramount to that bottom line and continuing it from one generation to the next, and that's under attack.
Yes, the Department of Labor is in a rulemaking process, and we're getting down to things that you and I did growing up on the farm. You know, it's about driving lawnmowers, tractors, things that we do with livestock, basic youth labor laws, dealing with parental permission to do that on the farm. These are core ethic work values of Ohio agriculture and our farm families. And so we're encouraging everyone, speak up, be engaged. This is a part of our heritage, a part of what we do, critically important. So let's get this fixed and carry on with what we do well in farm families in Ohio.
Well, specifically what labor is trying to do to disallow anyone under the age of 16 to do any work on the farm unless it is for their mother or father. And that would exclude any kind of aunts, uncles, grandparents, something that's not really common sense on today's or the American farm for the last 100 years.
You've described it very well. It's about attacking our business structures and multi-family operations. They're family farms with a lot more of the family involved, and so that's why we're very, very concerned.
Of course, taxes play a part to that bottom line in everybody's budget, be it a farm budget or your personal budget. The estate tax is something that the Farm Bureau has, well, in Ohio, helped get rid of. You'd like to see something similar happen on a national level?
Yes, we would. The estate tax in Ohio was repealed January 1, 2013, and now we're working on the estate tax at the federal level. So a couple things. It very much makes a difference in terms of a small business, a farm operation. A lot of your assets are tied up in land and machinery, and so the estate tax is very difficult for families to deal with. And so we need some certainty. Our number one objective is to repeal the estate tax in total. We heard from Senator Brown this morning. I don't think he believes that is possible, but if we could get some certainty in the amount of exemptions, you know, it's been up and down over the last few years, all the way from 0 to $1 million, up to $5 million, and with the spouse part up to $10 million. But get some certainty in the estate tax so we can plan for it. But it's a key component that we need to deal with so we can enhance the ability of families to pass on their business to their children.
And not to say that it will happen, but Senator Brown alluded to the fact he doesn't believe it's going to change from the current $5 million, or if it does change, it's going to stay close to that $5 million exemption.
I heard him say repeal doesn't look like it's going to happen, but the exemption somewhere from 1 to 5 million or 8, maybe even a little higher, depending on how good a job we do at lobbying. But he knows the importance of having some certainty and a favorable estate tax plan at the federal level for Ohio farmers.
And of course, capital gains tax, that's a key issue with Farm Bureau as well.
Well, that's a little less certain what's going to happen there. Is it going to go up? Are we going to lose it totally? I think it's at 15% now. They're talking about going to 20%. So again, it's a part of our tax policy that directly impacts farmers and farm families.
With fewer and fewer farmers, farm families in production agriculture on a continuing basis as we go along from year to year, how important is it for those farmers that are your county presidents to interact with our legislators or congressmen and women, senators here on Capitol Hill?
Well, one of the great things about the agriculture industry and our leaders, not only in Ohio but across the country, for not too many farmers in numbers. We do a great job in engaging with our elected officials. We start with our policy from the farm level, the family level, and that's a key component as we then work together at state and then national level, and carrying that message one-on-one, face-to-face contact, being involved in the political process is why American farmers, and particularly Ohio farmers, are successful in implementing good public policy, not only for farmers and farm families, but for our consumers. Food security impacts all of us. I tell every congressman, every state rep, every state senator, you all eat. All of your constituents eat, and we can build off of that.
I was going to say the fact that our viewers watch us because of what we do with agriculture and rural lifestyles. Not all of our viewers are involved directly with agriculture, and I would guess some of our viewers may never have really been on a farm. So what we tell them and all of that plays into their education, which is key. If someone watching right now would like to ask a little more from you or Farm Bureau, or if they would like to get some more information, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, I work hard at answering emails that come to me directly, jfisher@ofbf.org. Staff helps me do that, obviously, but we want to hear from consumers. We want them to be engaged at the local level when we talk about education policy, the opportunity to be part of school boards, work with your local chamber of commerce. We talk about 1 out of 6, 1 out of 7 jobs in Ohio are related to the industry of agriculture. Now, we're not just talking row crops and livestock production, but we're talking about the entire food chain, farm inputs, what happens on the farm, and then till it gets to your plate, and all the opportunities there are for young people to be a part of our industry. And we're very proud of the fact I work closely with Dean Mosier at Ohio State, and 93% of our graduates from Ohio State in the Ag College have a job when they get their diploma. And that's the opportunity that's there in the industry of agriculture and agribusiness in Ohio and in the country.
There you have Jack Fisher, the Executive Vice President with Ohio Farm Bureau, Jay Fisher at OFBF.org. And if you'd like to get a little bit more information or get in touch with Jack, that's the way to do that. Jack, thanks for being with us. Always a pleasure.
Appreciate you joining us on our trip to Washington, as you do frequently. And after we learn from our elected officials, it's always great to have you folks out spread the word about what happened. So we appreciate you being here, and thanks for your help.
Thank you, Jack. And we'll be back right after this.